that respect, this is a campaign, and this is an election cycle. This is a time in American history dominated by economic issues, and rightfully so. So many Americans have lost their jobs. The world is in the midst of transformation, true transformation when it comes to the global economy. Much of the world is beginning to embrace, to some extent or another, the free enterprise system that has made us free and prosperous. It's had the same results. The more they try it, the more it works for them. But it's important, not as if you're gathered here today, to also talk about cultural issues. I think it's important to remind ourselves that you cannot separate the economic well-being of your people from their social and moral well-being. That in essence, it takes strong and stable families to raise productive citizens who can then go out and pursue their dreams and their hopes, and in so doing create jobs and opportunities for themselves and for others. We know that academic underperformance is directly linked to the underlying conditions of a child's life. We worked on that issue, we tried to, in the 2 years that I was Speaker of the Florida House. We also know that government's an important institution. It should certainly do nothing to undermine the social and moral well-being of our people. And when it can, it should do whatever it can to strengthen it. But that ultimately strong, stable citizens are the product of strong and stable families and strong and stable upbringings. And to some extent, there's little government can do about that. Many of America's problems find their genesis, and therefore their solutions, in the home. And too many of our children, quite frankly, in America are growing up in broken homes and broken neighborhoods. It's just the sociological development that's happened over the last 30 or 40 years. And it makes all the other problems harder to solve. The faith community has an important role to play as part of the civil society in regards to this. It has been the greatest ally for parents in raising their children. And it will have to continue to be going forward. The faith community played an important role in the founding of our country, and the very principles that justified separating from a colonial power and becoming an independent nation. Those principles are no less true or important now than they were then. Those are the stakes of our time. That's what this election, I hope, is about. And so I'm running for the U.S. Senate for one very simple reason. I want to win a Nobel Peace Prize. I know. You have to be there 3 weeks to do that, I know. Look, these campaigns, you know how politics works, and in America it's become kind of like college football, you know. You take a side, you paint your face to your team color, you go out and you fight, you argue, somebody wins, somebody loses. It shouldn't, I mean, there's always an element of competition in politics, but it's too important now. I'll tell you right now, what I'll tell you throughout this campaign. I was not motivated to enter this race or to stay in this race because I believe anybody else in this race is a bad person. If you're hoping to find in me someone who will convince you to vote for me because everyone else is a bad person, I'm not your person. I'm not your guy. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste your time with that. Okay. The issues are too important and politics shouldn't be about that. I do know this. I believe I'm the only person in this race that understands how important a crossroads we stand at right now. Yes. I do believe. And because I understand it, and I'm the only one that does, I do believe I'm the only person in this race that will go to Washington, D.C. and stand up to this agenda and offer a clear alternative. Yes. Yes. I didn't get into politics because I like to argue with people. I didn't get into politics because I like to be on the opposite side of people. I didn't get into politics because I enjoy the give and take of the debate. That's not the reason to propel me into public service. I have friends of mine. And I know everybody says I have friends of mine that are Democrats. I have people who I admire, who I know are good people, who I would consider to be left of center believers of government's ability to run our lives and stimulate our economy. But I disagree with them on some very important issues. And as much as I like them personally, I cannot stand by and do nothing as they try to impose a set of policies upon America that will rob us of our exceptionalism. Right. And so